Chula Vista 911, 1095. What's the address of your emergency?
In my house. There's a thief in my house, in my backyard. Hurry up, please.
717, what was the street?
Oh, no, dude, you're acting crazy.
RP called in to say that someone was stealing something in the yard. The phone was put down. There was a 415 in the background. Plus the line disconnected.
So at this point, we're still in a high-speed pursuit of the stolen truck. You know, I'm behind it, lights and sirens, we're moving. And he turns up here on one of these cross streets. So right here, he makes a left turn onto Hollyway. And of course, the first thing I see is the dead end sign. So we're racing down the street. There's 3 people in the cab of the truck. And as we get down here to the end, he slams on the brakes, skids the tires, there's smoke everywhere. The driver's door opens and the driver flees. This is where the actual fight ended. And as we're wrestling around, we're doing this, I go backwards off this cliff down into that ravine. I land in the bottom of the ravine on my back with my hands pinned behind me as he comes and mounts me from the front. He looks to his side and grabs a rock. It's about the size of a football. And then just starts using that rock and smashing it on my skull. I already had multiple skull fractures, blood everywhere. My partners that are arriving to assist have no clue where I'm at. So they're looking around, they can't find me. And what a benefit the drone would have been that day, because somebody could have popped it up, immediately found me, directed all those resources to us. And you know, I'm sure I still would have been hurt, but maybe not quite as bad, and it would have been over quicker.
Female half is in a vehicle, male half is on a motorcycle. Vague RP advised that the female was driving back and forth. It appeared that she was trying to hit the middle of the car. She was being vague though, and then disconnected.
One of the main examples that I have that it was extremely beneficial to us was a domestic violence incident that took place in 2019 involving a female trying to hit a male with her car into his motorcycle.
All right, westbound G. The sedan is still pursuing the motorcyclist.
So on the footage, you see the motorcyclist going at a high rate of speed and this white car following behind. The motorcyclist takes a right onto a busy street and is trying to get away from this car. He even drives up onto the sidewalk at certain points, and this car is unrelentless and is continuing to follow. As of right now, the operator of the UAS is doing an excellent job making sure that we know exactly where this situation is going.
In an alley, 580 G Street, in a 415, 341, can you start for the west side?
So on the footage, you'll see the car, it narrowly strikes this motorcycle as it goes into the alley.
327 road.
10-4, in your clear code.
And this is where it gets really serious because the car smashes into him and almost knocks him over. We don't know exactly what we're dealing with, but we know that we've got an assault with a deadly weapon. I was able to use my department-issued smartphone to log in and actually see this footage live in the field. The car appears to point itself towards the motorcycle, which is extremely scary for everything involved. Here comes the first officer on scene. It's a traffic officer on a motorcycle. Through protocol, he takes the keys out of the ignition. Those are on the hood of the car. So if this person decided to run or something like that, we could still have eyes on it very easily.
I am not going to stop, because I know how important this is, and I know what it means to my officers. I know what it means to the community. I know what it means to the individual who may be the suspect out there, when my officers can make better informed decisions.
So we're teaming up. Kyle's downstairs, and he is putting all the inputs into the craft right now. He's directing the movement of the craft. He's directing the gimbal and the camera, the zoom, everything that you can see going on here. I'm watching airspace. I'm watching the drone. If anything happens, I can override his commands, his inputs, and I can take control and bring the drone to a safe place. Hey Kyle, good play.
Thanks, Matt.
What was happening?
So what did you call? The reporting party thought he saw someone taking things out of a vehicle in the library parking lot. Yeah. Possible vehicle burglary.
Hi, I'm calling from Walmart. There's a guy that's really aggressive. He has a knife. He won't leave. I was hoping to get over here.
RP advised the subject is 415, refusing to leave. The WMA thin built, black cap, blue sweatshirt, black shirt, sticky pants.
Then this guy comes out, black hat, black jacket, and I'm thinking, that's a pretty good match right there. Units haven't arrived yet, so I'm just going to try to keep an eye on it before they get there.
Subject also has a pocket knife on his waistband.
But at this point I see the police officer come up. His reaction is odd to me because he's walking directly towards her. Look at that. She's not even out of the car yet and he's all up in her face. And I didn't like that at all. And there's something about this that I don't like. Like I said, I don't like the way he came up on her. We already know he has a knife. He's threatened to use it, you know. So she's thinking the same thing. Let's do a pat down here. It looks like he's actually complying. You know, he took off his backpack and then Steve walks out. At this point I'm putting out, hey, they're in a scuffle with him, or he's resisting.
10-4 code 4-1 detained.
He put out code 4-1 detained. So everything's under control, one person detained. So now he's under control. So all I'm doing now is just providing overwatch. I'm watching just the crowd, you know, people around him.
311, no crime. Subject is managed for 602. Units will be 10A within a 5.
So one of the strategies that we did when we started our drone program is to ensure that the public had as much transparency as possible. So we created a website that has our as much information as we could possibly share about our program, with the exception of actual videos of all missions. One of the areas that we also included was a dashboard, which has information about the program. And the live dashboard will actually show up-to-date information about how many flights that we've flown. And so as of right now, we're up to 1,282 flights as of today, with 174 arrests credited to the program. The latest statistics show that our average response time to all calls for service is 183 seconds. Which is incredible compared to sending ground units.
What I think about the drone program for Chula Vista Police, well, me, I say, what were they waiting for? I mean, in any time you can get to a scene faster than a car, I think it's way better than, you know, driving through traffic, and even better than, or cheaper than using a helicopter.